staring at the cold, sterile ceiling, and waiting. It had been 51 days since the accident, the horrific worksite collapse that shattered my body, and soon after, my life. My leg was crushed, 3 ribs broken, 1 lung punctured. But none of that compared to the real pain, the kind that doesn't show up on x-rays, the kind you feel when the woman you've loved for 8 years doesn't show up. Not once. One day I finally worked up the courage to call Barbara. Her voice on the other end was ice cold, crunching food echoing through the receiver as she said, "You're not worth the gas money, Everett. Die fast or heal fast. I'm tired of waiting." And just when I thought I couldn't feel more broken, I heard Gage's voice, her son, the boy I'd raised since he was 8. "We don't miss you." That's when something inside me shattered completely. A month later, I checked myself out of the hospital against medical advice. My sister, Bernice, picked me up and took me to a small hotel, a place quiet enough that Barbara couldn't find me. That's when I started planning. A quiet, calculated revenge I called Operation Empty House. In the days that followed, I silently moved half of what remained in our savings to a private account, found a modest apartment, and hired a moving crew. I waited for Barbara's girls' trip to Nashville, a weekend she thought I'd never find out about. While she posted sun-soaked selfies, cocktail in hand, smile wide, I was back home, methodically separating our shared assets. I took only what was legally mine, and Curtis, our dog, the only soul in that house who'd never betrayed me. The next night, my phone blew up. Barbara was losing her mind. "Everett, are you insane? What the hell did you do?" I didn't answer. Instead, Bernice sent me a security cam clip. Barbara standing in the middle of the now empty living room, screaming like someone had set the world on fire. "He took everything, even the damn dog." And in that moment, I knew I'd done the right thing. Time passed. I started building a quieter life. Barbara tried everything, begging, threatening, manipulating. And then Gage showed up, not with anger, but with the truth. He told me Barbara had been cheating on me nearly a year before the accident, that she talked about my death, like a payout, a damn insurance policy. All that love I gave her, just a part of her plan. The day of the divorce hearing came. It was quick, efficient, and final. As I walked out of the courtroom, Barbara handed me a copy of our wedding photo. "Something to remember us by," she said. I took it, and that night it went straight into the trash. Now life looks a little different, simpler, quieter, better. Curtis still wags his tail when I walk through the door. Gage stops by on weekends. He's working through his own wounds, but we're healing together. And sometimes, when the evenings get still, I catch myself smiling again. Usually beside Tessa, the kind nurse who once listened to my pain when no one else would. Barbara, the woman who once said I wasn't worth the gas money to visit in the hospital, was now left with an empty house and a mountain of mistakes she could never take back. As for me, I lost a marriage, but I found myself again. And sometimes it's what we lose that finally shows us the true value of what remains. After the divorce hearing, I thought it was all over. I thought that was the end of the story. But life has a way of reminding you. The past doesn't always let go so easily. It was a quiet Sunday morning. I was sipping coffee in my small kitchen when my phone lit up. Barbara. My chest tightened. I was calmer these days, but calls from her always stirred something uneasy inside me. "Everett," she said the moment I picked up. Her voice was trembling. Different. "Have you seen Gage? He left yesterday and hasn't come back?" I straightened up, heart racing. "When's the last time you saw him?" Barbara started to sob, a sound I used to know so well, but now it only put me on alert. I don't know. I had a few drinks last night. I thought he went to a friend's place, but I've called everyone this morning. No one's seen him." Before I could say anything else, ding dong. My doorbell rang. "Hang on," I told her, limping to the door, still sore, still healing. And there he was, Gage, a small backpack slung over his shoulder, face pale, eyes swollen with tears. "I'm sorry, Everett," he whispered, his voice cracking. "I didn't know where else to go." I pulled him inside, resting a hand on his shoulder. "It's okay," I said gently. "Come in. Your mom's worried sick." But Gage shook his head hard. "I can't go back. I can't take it anymore. She drinks every night, cries all the time. She said this was all my fault, because I told you the truth." I felt the anger rise, a hot, blinding fury, but I held it back, because Gage didn't deserve to carry that weight. He was just a kid, caught in a mess the adults around him created. "Everett? What's going on?" Barbara's voice came through the phone, weak and shaky. "Is Gage with you?" I looked down at him. He didn't say a word, just lowered his eyes, as if silently begging me to protect him. After a long pause, I answered, calm but firm. Yes, he's here, he's safe. But right now, he needs time. Barbara, you need to get it together before I even think about letting him come back. I'll call you later. And I hung up. I hung up the phone, feeling the peace I'd worked so hard for unravel all over again. But this was something I had to do. Not for me, but for Gage. In the weeks that followed, Gage stayed with me. It was strange at first, but also meaningful. We talked. We took Curtis on evening walks. And slowly I realized he wasn't just my ex-wife's son anymore. He had become a part of my family. But peace never stays for long. One late afternoon, Gage came home from school, standing at the door, pale and shaken, a crumpled letter clutched in his hand. He handed it to me, voice trembling. Silvio. He's back. He's staying with Mom. She says she wants me to come home. My chest tightened. I knew Silvio. I knew the kind of man he was. The kind who shows up to destroy a family, then disappears when things get hard. I wasn't about to let Gage go back into chaos. Not again. That night, for the first time in a long time, I called Barbara, not to argue, but to warn. I won't let you and Silvio hurt Gage again. If you want to start over, you need to let Gage choose the life he wants to live. There was a long silence on the other end. Then she whispered words I never thought I'd hear. You're right, Everett. I've already lost so much. I don't want to lose my son, too. To my surprise, she agreed. Gage could stay with me, at least until she got her life together. 1 month later, in our little apartment filled with warmth and second chances, we celebrated Gage's first A in math, a subject he used to struggle with constantly. Curtis lay curled up at our feet, eyes half closed, finally at peace, in a home that felt like his again. The doorbell rang just as I was drying dishes. I opened it to see Tessa, her warm smile lighting up the hallway. Sorry I'm a little late, she said, holding out a small cake. I smiled, took it from her hands, and watched as she joined Gage on the couch, Curtis trotting over to greet her like an old friend. And in that moment, I realized something. Happiness doesn't always arrive wrapped in something big. Sometimes it's as simple as a quiet dinner, the laughter of someone who feels like home, or the quiet comfort of people you choose as your family. After all the pain, all the betrayal, all the loss, I finally saw it clearly. What I lost doesn't even come close to what I found. And maybe, just maybe, I finally found peace. My kind of peace. So if you're still listening, I want to leave you with this. Sometimes loss isn't the end. It's the door you never wanted to open, but the only one that could lead you to a better life. If this story touched your heart, please consider subscribing and sharing it with someone who might need a little hope today, because you never know. You might just be the reason someone out there doesn't give up. Thank you for listening to my story.